Hello and welcome back to another video. So today, as you guys can probably tell by the title of the video, we're going to chuck in some lock on this S15. To be specific, this Gktech 40mm bump steer and roll center correction kit. So I've never done this before, so I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm going to work through it with you guys. Yeah, we'll just jump straight into it. So I guess the first thing that I'm going to do is say shout out to Angus. Thank you for letting me borrow the tees. You guys will understand in a later date why I have done that. But we'll set you up down here and we'll just run through the stock angle first, I guess. I lie, stock angle is probably a little bit more than that, but I've got this kit on one side, so obviously it's throwing everything out. I need to kind of adjust it all to make it correct, but we'll just go with that for now. As we get, so hopefully after we put the kit in this side and we adjust a few arms and stuff like that, we should see greater angle at full lock. So I just got my, we're a bit blurry boys, here we go. So I just got my car up in the air, so I thought I'd show you guys the differences between the roll center correction and factory. So if we look around here, hold on, let me turn this. So if you can see here, just there is the knuckle and everything, and the low control arm all tied into the knuckle. This is where the roll center correction comes into play. So basically it just adjusts the angle that your knuckle sits at in the tie rod pickups, and that just bolts to the bottom of the knuckle. This is your low control arm. If you can see here, I've also cut off the lock stop that is there. So we can jump over to this side. This is what it looks like in better light. You can see, make sure your knuckles flush with the correction kit. It's my lower control arm, and yeah, basically just bolt everything up in its place. So take everything out, we'll undo this, undo your sway bar link, as you can see, undo your knuckle and your tie rod end, and then remove this arm, put this in, put this arm in, bolt everything back up, and you're good to go. You will need to play with alignment as well. Anytime you touch steering components, you should probably, yeah, take a look at your alignment. So I'm going to play around and get an eye alignment as good as I can. Hopefully by the time we finish, someone's still open that can just touch it up for me. Oh, come on, Mr. Camera. Anyway, right here, split pin, take them out. Split pin on your lower ball joint here too, low control arm one. Take them out. So just use your side cutters, peel them back, get them as straight as possible and just bang them through. You will need to keep these if you don't have new ones, so make sure you don't ruin them. Next thing I'll do before you take all these ball joints out is I'd loosen your lower control arm just at the end here, and your caster arm, and I've already got this undone because I needed to for the other side, but I'd loosen these bolts as well, so that way when you're hitting your knuckle, because we're going to hit this here with a hammer to break the ball joint, you can actually see that it's broken free and is popped down, because otherwise you'll just keep hitting and you'll be wondering why your ball joint's not coming out, but it probably has. So yeah, loosen these off so that way when it does come out it droops And yeah, so I'm gonna undo this. It's 217s right here. Got all my stuff loose, as you can see here, and down over there. Next course of action, 19 right here. We're gonna loosen them off. We're not gonna take the nut all the way off because while you're hitting this, you don't wanna swing and damage the thread. So leave your nut on, and then you wanna hit right here with a hammer, hard, multiple times. So it's the vibration that lets this break free. So yeah, just keep going, you'll get it. So he's all out now, as you saw. Dropped down, nothing in there. We got two arms side by side now. Factory one with the lock stop cut and the Gktech kit on. So basically take this off now and put him in your knuckle. As I said, make sure that he ends up flush. So these actually move, these Allen key like bolts, they move through the knuckle. So get him to where he needs to be and lock them up tight. Make sure you have these slip-on spacers on because that takes up the slack in the knuckle, and then tighten them down. So I'm just going to go ahead and put them in there now and make sure he's all tight. So here you can see I've got it all bolted up to the car. I've just got these as tight as I possibly can while they're not hooked up, but once you get everything in the car and on the arm, so like the ball joint, this one here, back into the knuckle, make sure you go through and tighten all of these like just as tight as you possibly can with a bar. If not, I think it's like 90 Newton meters and 40 Newton meters if you've got a torque wrench handy. Because this is steering and stuff like that, you really don't want this to come loose. So if there's split pins and stuff, put them back in. If there isn't, make sure that these are hella tight so nothing comes loose. So yeah, basically you just go back through now and put everything back in that you took off and you're good to go. So I've got everything done up and tight. I've just got one wheel on now, it's the 17, it's the T. So I'll just show you the lock that you get now with the correct clearance with obviously a smalling rolling diameter. So if I chuck them here so you guys can see them. I'll just turn the wheel. As you can see now, we have heaps of angle. When the car compresses, there's probably not going to be enough clearance there, but you could adjust your caster out so the wheel sits a little bit more center, and then you should be all good. Obviously you need to play with your toe and everything anyway, so you need to go get an alignment. So I'm going to try T1 up, but yeah, I'll chuck an 18 on now and show you the difference and show you why it doesn't work. So here's with the 18 on. As you can see, it's quite a bit bigger. Look how close it is here in the wheel well. Rolling diameter obviously with the semi and stuff is huge, so I can get about that much lock before it starts to hit the skirt. If I didn't have the skirt there, I could probably go like a little bit further, but not a huge amount before it would start hitting everything, especially when the car's compressed. And then obviously this way it's a lot better, but still not enough. So yeah, need 17s. So I just shot off real quick and got an alignment. Here she is, all done. After driving it, there's still quite a bit of bump steer I feel, but it definitely feels a lot nicer on the road. A lot of camber, you can feel that as well, but overall pretty stoked with the angle and everything. So yeah, hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe.